let's head back. And we can get to our junction and then just drop down again. Zoom. Okay, looking in the tunnel is actually really fun. And then power. Good. So I wonder how it goes placing rail. Let's find out. Railway. So if we just do like that. Oh yeah. And then we... How do we curve it? Okay. Like that, it seems. Once you've got a straight, then you can curve it. But if it clips through things, is that bad? Probably. We probably want to put some foundations down at certain points and then connect between. Like along here, we probably want this on foundations running this way. Oh, we need more metal plates so we can do foundations. Oops. Oh well, maybe we just do one every now and then. Okay. Now we have 7 available, so for now at least, let's put that into 7. Why is it wanting to go sideways like that? Huh? But I want you to go the other direction. Excuse you? Is there a certain orientation of foundation that I'm missing? What? I'm so confused. That's so annoying. Okay, well. There is technically a, like, orientation. Okay, well it's not that one then. Let's see what the difference is. Yeah, okay, so this is the correct one, somehow. How do you tell the difference, though? I can't tell the difference. I guess you've just got to guess. That's so annoying. Yeah, and you're different too, okay. So I guess is the idea that we just have to... We always know that we have to press... Scroll once. Yeah, okay. Scroll once and then it'll be fine. How stupid. Oh, track is too long. Okay. Apparently there's a limit. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe. We'll try that. And then go from the midline of this one to here. Okay. So yes, 9 is good. And then get rid of this. And then we can... Yeah, then it's... This is going to be rather annoying, I think, quite frankly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Rotate, place. Overlapping another object's clearance, apparently. Well, I don't know what. Oh, the rock. Ah, that might be a problem. Well, we've placed one down. Let's... Can you snap, please? Why are you not snapping properly? What? Okay, so as soon as I put... I'm so confused. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. Go up there. Are you clipping still? You're still clipping, but it doesn't look as bad. So hopefully that's fine. Hopefully that's fine. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2. That's, let's try and do a curve. And then we don't want to clip it anymore. Or, don't want to, yeah, don't want to clip it anymore. Okay, well, let's try that. And then we're probably going to want to put it up again. I was kind of hoping that this would have like a platform that it could go on instead. Wait, is there? Railway, oh, that sort of platform. Not the sort of platform I was meaning. I was hoping it would have like a thing like conveyor belts do, instead of having to use foundations. Yes, now it says overlapping just a foundation, which is kind of stupid. Could you do it as a ramp instead? What happens if we put a ramp on top? 2-meter ramp? Because it is an incline. Still looks... it's not that steep an incline, maybe a 1-meter ramp. This is more complicated than I thought it was going to be, which is rather annoying. Okay, well... maybe. Do that. And again... ramp 1 meter. Do that. I guess the ramp should always be faced the right way, at least. Seems this isn't enough of a corner. Okay, well, we want to put it next to that one, looks like. Ramp 1 meter. There. That up to there. Alright. Ramp 1 meter. There. 7. Bonk. Bonk. Cool. Good enough. And then now we're going to want to take it around like this. But now we want to actually have like a train station and a freight yard and all of that stuff. See if we can make this work. I have no idea how this is meant to work. So train station. Going this direction. How does it work in terms of having a dead end? Lock signal. Nope, that's not what I want. Stingers are going to be really annoying, aren't they? Maybe we should put foundations down as well. We don't have any foundation materials left, but we should at least figure that out. Let's go zoop. 4's probably good. Now, can we put that on top of that? No, we need 2 of them. Oh no, a creature is in the way. Of course it is. Of course it is. You piece of junk. Let's just do that. Okay, now, train station, maybe. A creature is in the way. What creature is in the way? It's underneath my foundations, because of course it is. Can I collect its remains? You know what? I don't care. Okay, now, train station. We have a train station. We can connect tracks. It's too long. Okay, of course it is. We'll need a freight station as well. Freight platform. That's huge. That's much bigger than I expected. Okay. And we're too far away from our power. Okay. Maybe we want the train station to be a little bit this way further. We can also just hang it hanging off the foundations because it actually doesn't matter. Let's do that. Is that now short enough to connect? No. No! We're one section too long. That's so annoying. Okay, well, let's just... we know it's around this area anyway, so let's just do... like, let's have it facing more this way now as well. Okay. Now, train station. This way. Like so. I don't even know if this is going to work. That's the other annoying thing, is I have no idea if this is actually how it's meant to fit together. So let's bring you down. Well, just fire you up, I guess. And let's do freight platform. Does it matter which way round it is? I hope not. Let's do that. And then just have here facing that direction. Mark II. Of course, we're just close enough. Have you going up into that. Okay, and then uranium's going to come up there, which means that it's going to be irradiated, I think. Alright. Well, we're starting to get something, at least. You know what? I need to look at this. Oops, sorry. Can make encased uranium fuel cells. That's the only thing that this is good for? Oh, you need sulfuric acid for that. And that goes into fuel rods. Even that's radioactive. Mildly radioactive. Moderately radioactive. Okay, so all of these are radioactive. Alright. Never mind. Electromagnetic control rods. What do these use? Stators and AR limiters. Okay, well, that's not so bad. So I need a lot of those. I do know how to make heat sinks and cooling systems. Okay, cool. Heat sink is aluminium and copper sheets. I can do that. Oh, I even have copper over at the other thing. I can ramp that up and just make a bunch of heat sinks too. That's handy. And then cooling systems are apparently blended. I'm not sure how that's meant to work. That seems strange, but whatever. And then that's also a blender. Okay. So what I was hoping to find is that something that I could put uranium in that would make it no longer radioactive, but I don't see that being the case. But at least we can make it so that it gets transported so it's not radioactive, hopefully. So we can make an electric locomotive down here. I was expecting the locomotive to like lock at the station, like you would have to put the station down in order to make anything else work. That's what I thought was going to happen. Seems to not be the case. Freight car. Must be also built on a railway. Okay, so well, freight car is here. Maybe we need to build it in such a way that... I don't know. Let's just build the damn freight car. Build the locomotive. There we go. That's those built. I think I built it backwards, but whatever. It's going to be shunting or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let's put it down the other way around because it just looks silly. Okay, let's do that. And then we need another station. Wait, what? Dry? Hey, I thought this was going to work automatically. I don't intend to drive it. What else does this say? Just E to drive, okay. Well, that's not what I want to do. I want to go to my station, which I can't access without hitting radiation, which is annoying, because that's not what I wanted to have happen. Timetable, trains, train. Turn on self-driving. Edit timetable. There. Add. Oh, okay, cool, right. So we do that. Let's follow this down. So the train station is now powered. That means the track should also now be powered. Though it doesn't appear to be. I still have to go close to the power lines to actually get power, it seems. The way you set up the train station will not work. Well, I'd like to know why, for one, and also how am I supposed to know based on the information that the game gives me. I would be curious to know how I'm supposed to know that it's not going to work. Because nothing about it seems wrong to me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it's the length of the power thing, really, isn't it? Let's go vertical. And, oh, we want to go that way? Yeah. We need more metal plates because we need to be able to build... Basically, I don't want it to be a... This is the wrong way around. I don't want it to be a railway bridge, per se, but that seems to be what's required of me. I think we might just have to call it quits on the railway for today, to be perfectly honest, and just accept that it's going to take a little bit more figuring out, and it's probably not worth the hassle, quite frankly, because it seems awfully annoying for very little payoff. So the sole advantage, in my mind at least, was that it would allow me to transport the uranium without the irradiation. But I'm not sure if that's actually going to work, so yeah, who knows. But yes, I need a lot more metal plates, so I should deal with that first. And then I can put another station over the other thing the other way. Unfortunately, game should fall short the same way Factorio falls short. Yeah, that's why I avoided Factorio. The reason the wiki is linked on the title screen, yeah, that's just bad on their part. Don't put things in the game that you're not going to have, I don't know, at least somewhat intuitive. But I wasn't sure whether or not the train station needed to be right at the end or not. But at the same time, the locomotive is in front of the freight car, so I would have expected the locomotive should be able to push the train into the station and then drive out. So if that's not the way it's going to work, then it makes no sense to me. I need metal plates for, oh, that's pipeline. I need metal plates for hypertube as well. Never mind. I was thinking I should really build some hypertubes so that way I can just zoom around. I could just do a hypertube next to my train line, which I could still do in future, but not right now, it turns out. Oh, it makes the car it's in radioactive. If you have a train car filled to the brim with uranium, it will drag the ratio. Okay, so what I'm doing is no different to just having a conveyor belt then. Well, that's stupid, because if it's in a car, like, that should be... Yeah, you should be able to encase it safely for transport. If you can't do that, then I'm not going to waste more time with it, quite frankly. I don't know, maybe we'll make a railway because I want to make a railway. Like, it's one of those things in this game that I feel, hey, that's kind of fun, I'd like to have a railway. But if it's just going to make the entire train radioactive as well, maybe I don't care. Maybe there's something else that I can do with a railway instead, I don't know what right now, but... I don't know, this is definitely the stage of the game that is just kind of disappointing, because you unlock this cool stuff, and then you find out that none of it works. I didn't bother with trucks or anything, because I knew they were going to be a nightmare, but I didn't realize that trains were going to be complicated, because to me, that should be simple. I mean, if the train car, like the freight car, is irradiated, I guess that doesn't matter so much, because it's just kind of going in a circle. Just stay away from the car, so long as the whole track doesn't get irradiated. Like, because if I had a conveyor belt, presumably the whole conveyor belt would be irradiated because I'd be near the resource, so it would be irradiated. If just the train car is irradiated, then that's kind of fine. It's acceptable. I can work around it. And I can't use a drone because it would be flying through a tunnel. Well, I don't know, maybe it would work. That would be funny. I should have experimented with that. But right, we need metal plates. Here we go. Reason trains are light just because you can just glue a station onto a main line. That's better than making a whole belt. Huh? Don't know what the difference is. Kind of redundant making one railway for one thing. What else are you supposed to do? Let's go back. But also, I mean, the idea is that hopefully it won't be one railway for one thing. I can extend it, because that tunnel goes all the way up the top, and I could train it through to my aluminium, potentially. It's a lot of annoying ground to cover to get there, but maybe we can make it go to the aluminium. So we could, like, collect some aluminium stuff and then go through the tunnel, collect the uranium, and then go out the other side and offload it separately. Whee! Okay. What a lot of people do is make a massive circle of track around the map, make a small offshoot to go to a station. Instead of building 10 belts, you build one circle line and made... Oh yeah, well, that's the ultimate goal, right? But that's a long way off. I ain't doing that anytime soon. Zoop. How far can I build this? Quite. Good. And then what I actually want to do there is do that to here, and you can probably go on the side, maybe? Yes, good. You can go on the side. Nice. Let's do that across to here. Okay, yeah, a slight curve going on. That's alright. And then maybe we can get across to the other side from here? We'll find out. And then the idea is I can just deconstruct the foundations and everything underneath. And then put power line there. And then put you here. Yes, good. Now we're trending this direction. Okay, we're just going to go through that poison patch, I think. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. And why not get rid of the big one as well? Just because it offends me. You can stay. And then now you are around here. And now we go like that. Around here. Okay, I could have maybe done a slightly different angle. Yeah, I can do this slightly. Maybe that. About the same, but whatever. I thought I got power from the tracks. I clearly don't. No, I don't get power from the tracks at all. So that's annoying. Now, can we put a train station just randomly in line? Not really. We're going to have to do like a break here, put the train station down. We've got two foundations here, so we can experiment a little at this point. So, not the train station per se, but freight station? Maybe? Snaps to other platforms and station. Okay, so we have to put the station down first, I guess. And we need to remove this first. What happens if I press E on this? Empty platform, platform with... Okay. Not what I wanted. But whatever. It has to be in line with another platform. Alright, train station. Can you please snap to the line? No, okay, so we need to deconstruct that first and then maybe put this down. I want you on the foundation, preferably. It's just clipping through the power lines now. That's fine. Okay. So if we just do that. Now, go from there to the train station. Alright. And from there to there. Okay. So we kind of don't want to connect this up yet, actually, because we do want a freight thing. We want the freight thing this side, actually. So let's do the freight platform first. And now do this. So it goes up and down. There we go. Alright. So then from here, we just want to have conveyor belt Mark 4. So it pulls it away from the station as quickly as possible. And let's just go up here. I'm going to guess the storage containers are probably also going to become radioactive. But if we do like this and this, and then like stack some up or something so that it can put, like, store a bunch? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. That much should be patently obvious. Okay. Train station. Timetable. Trains. Train. Train name. Train 1. For argument's sake. There. Current timetable. Save changes. Turn on self-driving. Set up a train schedule. There we go. Hey, we got an achievement out of it. Not a wasted episode. Next stop is unreachable. Why? Why is the next stop unreachable? Edit timetable. How do I just... There we go. Move it up. There we go. Save changes. What about that? Operational. Okay, cool. Well... Now, do you need to connect it up behind is the next question. Does it not go like that way, then that way? Does it have to be linear? Is that the problem? If that's the case, then that's a pain in the butt. And that makes no sense, because it should be able to go there and back again. Okay, it's fast. I like that it's fast. It's got nothing on it, because it was in front of the station. Alright, that comes in. Cool. Now what? Because it says it's the next station is unreachable. So I'm guessing it can't go backwards. Still says operational. Cancel docking. So you have to turn it around. When a train is moving autonomously, it can't reverse. The train has to be stationed set and then continue driving forward. If you have two locals on each side, you can enter an empty platform and have the train turn around. You can add an empty platform and have the train turn around. So currently the train is facing that way, so we need to then have another train. That's so stupid. Like, a train should be able to move both directions. There you go. Now you've got a second one. Now it should be possible. Let's just take everything off, huh? Let's take everything off. No timetable. Cool. Okay. You're docked at Samara. Next station should be Skovda. Next stop is unreachable. You have to have an empty platform on the other side. It makes sense if you think about it. No, it doesn't. It makes zero sense why this will not work and just go that way. Like, it is fully stopped at the station, right? It's fully stopped at the station. You don't even need to have the locomotive should not need to be in the station. The only bit that matters is that you've got a locomotive in the station. You've got a freight car at the freight platform. This should not be necessary. You mean the other station? Why does the other station matter right now? I'm not at the other station. I wanted to leave here and go to the other station. I mean, it will now because I've put the locomotive down. Because that's apparently what it needs, but it shouldn't need it. Like, this should be fine. This locomotive should be able to push in reverse that way. It's an electric locomotive. Electric motors work both ways. They don't need drive gears or anything like that. You'd love to enter VC? No, you wouldn't, because I'd just be telling you all of this exactly the same. Like, it does not make any sense. I'll go the other end and I'll sort its shit out the way that they want it to work, but it does not make sense. Like, you will not convince me that it makes sense. It may be required by the game, but that's because the game is stupid. It should be able to push into this station up here, and then it should be able to pull out. That's all that it needs to do. Like, yeah, I'll chuck on an empty platform at the end. If it'll fit now, probably won't. Now it's super radiated, of course. Like, just the fact that you can't have... There we go, it's gonna clip now is the other problem. I'm gonna... that's annoying, because I want to take this off, and then it's going to... Now I've got a bunch of radiation on me, and that's a problem. And that's full. You're not, thankfully. Oh boy. So now we need to do this. Like, the fact that you can't have something that nullifies the radiation as well. Like, you can't safely encase it for transport, like just concrete or something. That's also annoying. Like, this all reinforces the fact that I really don't think it's worth the trouble dealing with nuclear stuff in this game at all. Because normally you would have safe ways of dealing with this sort of thing. This game does not care about having any safe ways of dealing with anything. So therefore, it's not worth bothering with at all. But I'm probably going to have to. Like, I need to make nuclear-based things to proceed, I'm fairly sure. So it's a necessary thing that I have to mess about with. At this end, you need to put the station on the other side and have an empty platform. What? Why do I need the station on the other side? Yeah, now it makes even less sense. So you're saying I need to have... I need to do this from a very... I can't do it from far enough away, is the other thing. Okay, so train station, we'll get rid of that then, whatever. And then we've got train station here, so it has to be at that side. Facing that way or that way? I guess that way in that case. So it must have to do that. Even though I want it to come this direction. And then an empty platform like that. And I'm going to reconstruct this because it probably doesn't connect up by default. Like everything else in this game. Like that. Train that is moving forward needs to go the direction the arrow is going. Well, we now have it, but now it has a different name, so I'm going to have to change its timetable again. Yeah, they've taken something that should be simple and made it needlessly complicated. That's what's happened. Like, all that should matter is the positioning of the train in the platform and the freight car at the station. Other way around. Train at the station, freight car at the platform. Now it's beeping again. So now I need to put the train back on this side going the other direction. And now I need to go and configure the timetable again. Edit timetable. We've now got a different station name. Save. There you go. We're now saying next station Samara. For some reason. Okay, now it's going. Yeah. Maybe. You gonna move? Or are you complaining again? It says operational. Okay. To have just a simple there and back again, that is wildly excessive. That's so stupid. Yeah. So that reinforces the fact that no method of autonomous drones. Drones are good. Drones are good. No other method of autonomous transport is worth it in this game. It's not worth any hassle. Alright, and then what else do I need to do with uranium? I first have to do the encased cells. And these are the ones that should now be non-radioactive, because they're encased. So if they're encased, they should be safe to move around, but they're still mildly radioactive apparently. So that doesn't make sense. And then they are used in uranium fuel rods, which again are encased in even more encasements and electromagnetic control rods, but they're moderately radioactive. That makes more sense because they're actually like the active component, but this should be the safe for transport one. So we're gonna need to set up like a drone to transport sulfuric acid, or do something from all the way down here. That's not gonna happen. Or we've got to continue our train on and actually take it somehow all the way up to there. Are you now unloading? Looks like it. Oh yeah, takes a container off, drops it down. Now we should see a bunch of stuff shoot out. Yep, there we go. And it'll take it away as quickly as possible. And now it's radiation, of course. Alright, so we have that going into there. Eventually it's just going to fill up, and then presumably the train will just stop working, or it'll just go there and back again, but it'll still be full. Anyway, okay, well that took way longer than it needed to. Because someone decided that you couldn't just have a simple one station, one platform arrangement. Instead of having to have a random redundant empty platform. And have the arrows face different directions. When I saw the arrow, I was thinking, why is there an arrow? Because the train station, you should be able to go either way. Like if you're at a train station, the train can come in and go either direction. It's not like one per direction, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. So as soon as I saw that, I was thinking, oh no. What have they done? We need to work on nitrogen in a blender. I should have been doing that instead of messing around with trains, quite frankly, because we're going to need that for the next step. You're still working, but you're almost at 400, so that's nice. Okay, well I know what I'm going to do next time. Hard drive. We'll take a look at this first. Super state computer. That seems even worse. Okay, battery. We'll give a use for batteries. I guess it makes them faster. Yeah, it makes them faster. But it needs more complicated things. No, that's not good. Insulated crystal oscillator, AI limiter, rubber and quartz. That's not great either. Rescan. Oh, great. And now we get worse stuff again. Of course. Copper rotor is interesting though. Still uses a ton of screws, but normally it's 25, but it makes 11 so it makes a lot more. Instead of using rods, it uses copper. But we don't have much uses for copper, so yeah, we'll do that. Everything I've kind of got already balanced, so it's not going to make a huge difference right now, but yeah, might be handy. And we've got 3 more hard drives to scan, so that's good. Well, we've done a lot. It doesn't feel like I've achieved much, but I have done a lot this episode. I have at least placed down small radar towers. I've explored this whole swamp area. Got a bunch more hard drives. There's a lot of random fluctuations, so I'm going to have to sort that out. Other than that, yeah, we set out to try and do nuclear stuff. We got a little bit sidetracked, and also the fact that as soon as I saw that it creates like nuclear waste, and it's like, well, what am I going to do with that? They're probably not going to let me just sink it. Actually, maybe they would. I don't know. Maybe they would have. But thematically, that seems wrong. So, yeah, we just avoid nuclear for now. We're just going to have a radioactive pit over there for the time being. And we'll worry about what to do with that later. But we're going to need it, I think, because one of our things is nuclear pasta. Which sounds like, I don't know, an Italian's worst nightmare. But anyway, we've been going far too long again because we got sidetracked with trying to make rail stations work. I only just realized that that presumably is the progress bar for research. Is it? Is that moving at all? Yeah, it's about the right length too. Neat. That will do for now. Thank you very much for watching.